This is GreyMan here. So this is my prepper haul, and I kind of want to explain what this is and why am I showing it. Well, that one video that I did a while back, I think it was the 10 best canned goods or one of those videos, I asked you, the viewers, if you guys would like to see me do a prepper haul. So let me kind of explain this. So I do my prepper pantry hauls on the 1st and on the 15th of each month. Each one consists of different things. I have a specific way of set out, and yes, there's going to be a lot of background noise because there was no way to set this up inside, and I got this little mic on and all that stuff like that, but you know how Grey does it. Anyways, moving on. So how do I explain this? So this is what I've gotten today on December 1st, and the sun is, I'm trying to not lose all my light here, so hopefully this works out well. I guess I need to just get on with it. So I kind of want to go over with you folks what I got on my prepper pantry haul of December 1st. And then if you guys want to, I can do my December 15th hauls too. It's really up to the viewers if you guys want to see stuff like this, just because you're intrigued by what I put in my prepper pantry or my long-term storage. It's kind of a mix here. And this doesn't include stuff like the meats that I put in the freezer and stuff like that. This is more of the canned goods and you know, long-term storage type of stuff, and I'll explain that as we get into it. So speaking of long-term storage, I did bring out, because I have 40 pounds of long grain rice that I'm going to have to process. And what I mean by process is I freeze it first in my deep freezer. I leave it in there for about 4 to 5 days just to kind of kill any residual bugs. I know we just get it from the store, but it's just like a backup plan. And I did forget to get the O2 absorbers and the Mylar bags to show you, but at least kind of give you an idea. What we usually do is we get these 5-gallon buckets. I usually go to Tractor Supply because they have these things here, which are your gamma lids. I love gamma lids. These are just one of my favorites to use. Everybody has their opinion, but I use the gamma lids along with the 5-gallon buckets, Mylar bags, and the O2 absorbers. Now, if you're gonna, one of these days, if you guys want, again, I can do a video showing you how I process rice into a 5-gallon, into the Mylar, into the O2 absorbers, and how I seal it, and why I use what I use. But that being said, I'm going to put this down for now and get it out of my way, per se, because I have a lot of stuff up here. And I'm hoping that this, and luckily this microphone goes with me everywhere I go, so you guys can still hear me as I'm moving around, unlike the other mic. So let's kind of dive into a few things. Like I said, I bought 40 pounds of rice. On the 1st of the month, I always buy a minimum of 40 pounds of rice. And yes, after years and years, I probably have more than you can imagine stored. And I keep them all in 5-gallon buckets. We're also going to dive into my dry beans. But let me get rid of some of the small stuff first, and then we'll kind of go into that. Something I always pick up, I'm going to start here in the back, because I was saying before the camera rudely shut off on me. I said I use these vinegars here. I grab this size because it's a larger, more affordable size, and I can store these for quite some time or break them down. I can use them for cooking and cleaning and a bunch of other different things, but vinegar comes in very handy, and I always like to add these to my prepper pantry hauls. I'm trying to move things around as I go to kind of get this table somewhat cleared off. Now, one thing that we had discussed before, and let's do this here. Sorry, folks. I'll probably cut this out. So anyways, like I was saying, remember that one video that we had discussed, someone's been asking what type of oils, what kind of cooking oils could you use that have the longest lasting shelf life? Well, you know, I love cooking with olive oil, which this is my favorite brand, just because if you dig into the research in some of these olive oils, they're not all created equally. Sometimes you'll get a lot of fake stuff out there. This brand does work good for me. It is the California Olive Ranch, and you got to make sure it says the 100%. The 100% version of it, because the other ones are kind of have other stuff in them. So I grab a couple of these. These don't last as long as what I'm about to show you down here, which are, and we discussed this, these coconut oils. And they were on sale, so I bought 4 of them this time instead of just the 2. But coconut oil, unrefined, cold-pressed coconut virgin oil. So you can use this to cook. You can use this for your cans. You can use this for your skin. There's a lot of different uses for coconut oil, especially if you get the cold-pressed, unrefined virgin oil. Like I said, this has the longest shelf life of any oil that I personally can find. So I just wanted to state that in case you guys are looking for the most bang for your buck for long-term storage. So I grabbed a couple of those. Let me move those down here. I always grab at least, I'm a fan of garlic, and if you grow garlic, awesome. I grow garlic myself, but I always like to get a big thing of garlic as well. This I don't have to get as much because we have so much of it stockpiled, but I always just grab one just to keep that rotation going. Moving on. I'm a big tea drinker. Now, one of my favorite teas, and I guess I'll let you guys in, is, because you guys see me drinking a lot of coffee, which we'll discuss here as well, is the lemon ginger tea. I buy it by the case because it lasts a lot longer. To me, tea doesn't really go bad as long as I take these and I kind of put them in a jar and I seal them in there, a little vacuum seal with my food saver. Another video I could possibly do down the road for you guys. But anyways, I buy it by the bulk because it's the cheapest way to go. But anyways, yeah, one of my favorites. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Bigelow. It's one of the more, some people will use loose leaf or take things from their garden and make their own leaf like I do with the chocolate mint and things like that. But anyways, I like the lemon ginger by these folks. And again, like I said, it's one of my favorites. Just saying. And at the end of this, I'll tell you how much I've spent so you guys can get an idea of what I spent, how much all this cost. All right, moving on to the coffee. Let's move some of this Bouillon down here. And let's talk about the coffee. A lot of you guys know I drink Café Bustelo. If you watch Alaska Prepper, you know he does as well. So this is the hard packs of the Café Bustelo. They do keep for quite some time because they're vacuum sealed. So if you keep these stored properly, and that goes, there's a rule of thumb with it: cool, dark, dry place, away from any adulterants like chemicals, gasolines, oils, cleaners, and all that stuff like that. Hopefully most of you folks know that. But so I grab a couple of these each time I'm out. And then to answer Billy and Dee's question, or mainly probably Billy's question, is do I store in my go bags or my get home bags or my EDC bag freeze-dried coffee? And yes, so I take these here. This is freeze-dried Café Bustelo, and I break these down in my food saver into small packs, and I put them inside my go bags or my get home bags or my EDC. So I always, no matter where, if I get stuck or whatever the situation arises, I will always have some form of coffee on me because it's like the lifeblood that keeps me going. But anyways, I grabbed two of these as well. Let's move this off to the side. Trying to make room for this. I wonder how people do these prepper pantry hauls. They must have a huge kitchen counter or something like that. All right, so we went over this. Let's kind of move into some of the chicken stock and stuff that I got. So I'm a huge into bone broth. And I'm looking at the time because the camera has like a 5-minute cycle. So I like to look down and make sure that it doesn't cut me off. But anyways, so we're going to get into basically bone broth. And now the train's going. The birds are chirping, the dogs are barking, anything that's going to mess up with the audio. So I'm going to pause for 1 second and get back to this. All right, so the train doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere anytime soon, so we're just going to move on with it. Anyway, so bone broth. I get chicken and I get beef bone broth. Love this stuff. I use it to cook with. Sometimes I just make soup with. Sometimes I'll add this to gravies and stuff like that. I grab 2 at a time. Usually it's just, I use a lot of this in our cooking. The wife does as well. So I guess it's, like I said, to me, I enjoy the heck out of bone broth. It's super healthy stuff, especially if you're feeling under the weather. This is a godsend in an aspect of making you feel just a little bit better sometimes when you're under the weather. So let me set this down here. A lot of you folks like to talk about Bullion Cubes. And yes, I get chicken. I'm trying to hold these both in my hand here. I get chicken and beef Bullion Cubes. They last a long time. Again, this goes to say, as long as everything that I'm talking about here, as long as it's properly stored, will last you a lot longer than you would assume. But yes, chicken and beef Bullion Cubes, I like those. You can add those to water and make some soups. You can do some other things, seasoning, break them down, and they have a long-term shelf life. A lot longer than the government will tell you. Anyways, I only grabbed one of these because we have so much of this, but I always like to grab one just because you never know. The wife might get on a baking kick, but she likes 100% pure vanilla extract. Now, this is a manufacturer that we've worked with, or not worked with, but that we purchased because we like the quality of it. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of the Watkins baking vanilla, pure vanilla extract, extra rich and all that stuff like that, non-GMO, blah, blah, blah. On and on and on, but she likes this brand here. I always grab one. We usually keep about 12 on hand just to keep that cycle going because she usually goes to this about once a month. So we kind of keep these on rotation. Moving on. Let me see, where do I want to dive? Maybe I want to get into the salmon. So usually you'll see me that I buy a lot of things in a pack of 12. The salmon, I don't go through as fast, so whenever I take some out and eat some or consume some, I buy more to replenish that stockpile, and I keep that rotation going. But wild Alaskan pink salmon, good stuff. I grabbed 4 of these. I'm trying to move this to the side here. Let's move it down here. Move you to the right. What else do we got here? So we got 12 cans of black beans. We have 12 cans of corn. And I think we have 12 cans of green beans. I feel like I don't need to pull those out for you. You guys can kind of see them here on the shelf. I like to buy everything at 12 because it stacks well. When I pull one out, if I'm using one, I can always just rotate it. It makes it really easy. I'll take my black marker across here and kind of put the, even though you can see the date on there, I like to kind of go a step beyond that. Also, moving on to, let's say, canned meats. Well, I guess I can have these in my hand, so can't go without peanut butter. I mean, this is a lot of calories packed in per tablespoon. And a lot of this thing is nutrient dense, like I say, your rices and your beans and stuff like that. Some people are like, well, rice doesn't have that much nutrients, but it has enough carbs in there to fill your belly in a worst case scenario. Rice and beans, folks, rice and beans. Anyways, but peanut butter per tablespoon. If you just need a boost of energy, you guys know I'm huge on this. I take those little packs out there with me in the woods and use that for energy when I'm on my hikes and stuff like that, the little things. But great to have also in your prepper pantry. I'm trying to figure out where I can start sticking this stuff at. We're just going to throw it on the floor for now. And I know you guys are like, Grey's doing this outdoors. Yeah, I guess I'm an outdoorsy kind of guy. Moving on to a couple things, always good to have, is salt. I like to buy the bigger boxes. Sometimes if I get lucky, I come across some of the big box stores that will have the big, huge things of salts. But more, they say kosher salt. I guess that's another whole ordeal. But I buy this by the box. It's always good to have salt, either for cooking, also for salting meats. Salts can come in handy for multiple uses, and that's what I like. Anything that I can purchase and add to my pantry, to the aspect of what I can use outside of its intended usage, just for regular old cooking or whatnot. All right, let's talk about canned meats. And you guys know, on the 15th is my tuna day. You can see how much tuna I get. But anyways, love my Sloppy Joe mix. And funny enough, I was looking at the expiration date on this, and it says February of 2024. So it has a 2-year shelf life, supposedly, but we know how that goes with canned goods. We know the real deal behind canned goods outside of these supposedly Best By use dates. Anyways, again, I got, the chicken breast as well. I like chicken. I like chicken. I like poultries, all the poultries, the fish, and so on and so forth. Anyways, so I know you guys are saying, well, where's the spam, Grey? Where's the spam? Well, I get spam on the 15th as well. Like I said, I have a list that I work off of, and what I need when I look at my pantry and I go through my list and see where I'm lacking and where I need to fill in and what we've used and whatnot. Those are the things I use, and I have probably more than enough spam to probably feed a lot of people for quite some time. And it keeps rotating as well. Anyways, like I said, the chicken, the Sloppy Joe mix, it's like, instead of having to take, let's say, just like a meat, some sort of canned meat, I like the Sloppy Joe's mix because I can pour this over rice, add some cheese in, and make it into a nice meal, make a sandwich out of it, whatever. Again, everybody's prepper pantry is going to be a little bit different, but this kind of gives you an idea where I and how I do my thing and what I like to add to mine. And like I said, this is just a small kind of window into what I prep. But you guys have seen some of my Augustin's Farms, my nutrient survivals, and all that fun stuff like that. And I go beyond that, and of course the garden behind me where we're trying to grow and sustain natural foods as well, like peppers and tomatoes and onions and garlic, and the list goes on and on and on. We got all kinds of beans and stuff. Maybe I'll do another garden video for you guys. So I went over that. Oh, we always got to have some fruits in there. I like peaches and pears. Those are my peaches and pears. You can buy the huge ones, but someone one time asked me, like, why do you buy the small cans? Well, I think about this. If I buy the big, huge monster cans, let's say like the size of a number 10 can that you can buy like pork and beans with, once you open that, do you have the option to store that? If you're in a scenario where you don't have the access to creating some sort of containers, or you don't have a bunch of containers on you, I know that if I open this up, this is at least for a family of 2. If I open 2 of them up, family of 4. So you kind of get where I'm going with the small cans. Some people like the big cans because they can get more cost effective for them. But I'll tell you guys one thing. I paid 49 cents a can for these things here. 49 cents, 49 cents, 49 cents. You times that by 12. Anyways, peaches and pears, these are the ones I like. I also like grapes and a bunch of other stuff like that. But usually some of those things like cranberries, blueberries, and the other stuff like that, I kind of get on a freeze-dried aspect of it because of shelf life. Or I take them and I get the freezer versions and keep those in the freezers. But we all know if power goes out, what kind of situation that we're going to be in. All right, I think I've gone that, and that. Excuse me, folks. I got here, what do I got here? I got 2, 4, 6. I got 8 pounds of these kidney beans. These are dry beans, and these are going to go into a bucket as well as I get those together. When I get enough beans, then I'll put them in the Mylar. I'll see them up, date them, and do all that fun stuff like that. Now, you guys know I'm Cuban, so I love my black beans, if you cannot tell. So these are for instant gratification, and then these guys here, these are for the long-term storage. I got 12 pounds. I think, yeah, these are what, 4 pounds a piece. Okay, these are 4-pounders, so I got 12 pounds of the black beans. There's 4, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pounds. Now, the reason I buy it this way, if you go to Augustin's Farms and buy their black bean, I think they're 24 or 24-pound black bean, it's like $70. I get these just for a couple of bucks, especially when they're on sale. So it's a lot more cost effective to buy these dry beans and, you know, use a 5-gallon bucket and Mylar and all that fun stuff like that. It's going to be a lot more cost effective for you to do it that way. But if you're in for the quick fix and you don't want to deal with all that stuff, then sure, by all means, you know, buy it from, let's say, Augustin's Farm, or buy it from whatever other company that you want to do so. They have white rice as well. As you see here, I got 40 pounds of white rice. These are the big boys. I'm assuming it's on camera. But 40 pounds. So I can usually fit anywhere from 40 to 50 pounds per, no, it's actually about 25 pounds, I think. I get about 25 pounds for a 5-gallon bucket. I hope those numbers are right. I have it all written down on my Prepper Pantry wall, on my list, and I have a dry erase board in there as well. So anyways, this is GreyMan's, Prepper Pantry haul for December 1st. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more of stuff like this, please let me know down in the comment section. Let me know how you do your. Do you shop weekly? Do you shop semi-monthly? Do you shop monthly? How do you do yours? What things do you add to your Prepper Pantry? What kind of different foods and oils, fruits, meats, broths, cubes, whatever it may be, let me down in the comments, because I really like to hear from you guys, because it piques my interest in some of the things that you guys are storing as well. So that being said, I think that about wraps it up for me, folks. I will see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Late Night with Grey. We are going to talk a little bit about water storage and some stuff like that tomorrow night, because I went over to Tractor Supply to grab some more buckets and some more of those Gamma lids, and I went and looked at some of the prices on some of the water containment systems, some of the rainwater catchment systems, and I want to share that with you folks, and we're going to just dive into that a little bit, plus some other stuff and some fun stuff, all right? Other than that, this is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the rebound. God bless. Stay safe.